Okay, first, just only one slide. 1 minute was the mechanism. So that slide shows a mechanism how to enable to survive oocytes and the liquid nitrogen temperature by slow freezing method or vitrification method. If the embryo and the oocyte was submerged into liquid nitrogen, why it died? It's not by the cold temperature. In the 70% of the cell is water. The water becomes solidified and become a big and hard ice. The hard ice breaks the organelle of the cell. This is the mechanism of the death of the cell and the liquid nitrogen temperature. So if the oocyte or any kind of cell contain 50%, more than 50% of CPAs, cryoprotective agent, inside in the cytogel, no ice crystal formed. This is vitrification solution. So how to contain more than 50% CPA is the strategy to make survive the cell in liquid nitrogen temperature. The first step is the same. First 15, approximately 10 to 15, or we can start from 5. But 15% CPA should be contained in the cell is the first step. It's same in slow freezing 2. And then 15% should be concentrated more than 50%. How? This CPA will be condensed by the dehydration of the cell. It is done by the slow growth of extracellular ice surrounded by cell during slow freezing, during slow cooling for 1 hour. Or this concentration occurs by the difference osmolarity between cytogel and vitrification solution. The osmolarity is much different, so the cell immediately dehydrate and concentrated. It takes 1 hour, it takes 1 minute. Normally it takes 10 to 20 seconds. However, so this method is simple. However, the vitrification solution is contain very high concentration of CPAs. So it gives, the physical toxicity, because of the high concentration. How to reduce the toxicity of high concentration of CPA has been the subject of research for these 20 years for vitrification. So there's a strategy here. So there's a good probability of vitrification equal the cooling rate multiply viscosity divided volume. Okay? If we obtain higher cooling rate or higher viscosity or minimize the volume, you could obtain the better status of vitrification. For that purpose, minimum volume cooling method has been proposed. So minimize the volume. Minimum volume means smaller than 0.1 microliter. Okay. 0.1. And accelerate cooling rate by direct touch with liquid nitrogen. The more than minus 10,000 degrees per minute is required for ultra rapid cooling. And higher viscosity is required. To realize that, the first in 1994, Dr. Alab proposed the minimum drop size method. And this is not minimized, still bigger. So I say this is small volume plus direct touch DT. However, he proposed a theory. However, he never produced any good results. So the first result was reported by Stanley Lieber. And they use electron microscope grid. They vitrified bovine oocytes, obtained very high survival using minimum volume plus direct touch of liquid nitrogen. And also MV plus DT plus DT. It's my open cut straw and a nylon loop. This was called cryo loop by Michelin. And this is not minimum volume. It is short volume, small volume. obtained about 85% survival for human blastocysts. And the cryotop MVDT in 2002, 2008. And finally, so I add higher viscosity using HPC, MVDT, and higher viscosity is cryotech method. Okay, so the cryotech method is the last system. This is perfect protocol. The last system, what is the system? It is, R means reliable. Okay? So we can obtain same result at any time, same result. Very reliable and universal. Anyone can obtain same result. This is universal. We obtain 99% for in our embryologists. All embryologists can obtain highest survival rates. And also in any countries, any other embryologists, if they have the right training of the vitrification, they obtain 99% survival. And safety, it's difficult to see. Can you see? Yes, that's okay. So, with the aspect of the damage, okay, 100% survival means no damage. Okay? It means high safety. And also, in the aspect of virus transmission in liquid nitrogen, it's impossible theory. I'll talk you later. Okay, so. And we have already, the risk about concerning virus transmission in liquid nitrogen, they worried because they said they have risk. Okay? This worry is a feeling before performance. Okay? So we start vitrification using the open system 1999. We have already experienced 600,000 cases in 12 countries, 40 countries in 12 years with no problem. Okay? This means strong evidence how safety this method is. Okay. So the slide shows survival rates after vitrification of oocytes and for cells and blastocysts in our center last year. So as you can see, we can obtain more than 99% survival for any stage of a cell. We can also vitrify GB oocytes also by this method. The slide shows the oocyte before and after vitrification. I used this slide in 12 years ago, 2000 in Japan Society. So when published this one, so no one believed. Okay? So the people say Masa did copy and paste in the slide. Because 10 years ago, in the textbook, oocyte cannot frozen. Okay? No one believed, of course. Okay? But no, it is not copy-paste. It is the actual photo. Then I'm very open to my technology. I teach everything for anyone, for the patient. So then many people repeat, and many people see the same photo. They can make same photo by themselves. Then they start to believe me. So now this method was used in 98% of the centers in Japan. However, when I published this in European Society, ICSI, again, no one believed. In Latin America, no one believed. No one believed this. But I think now, 50 countries, they believe. Okay. Can you make it cooler? I think you feel warmer now. You want to make us sleepy.
You mentioned GB oocyte.
Yes?
How about granulosa cell? Granulosa cell?
We have to give partial denuding. Yes.
Will the granulosa cells survive?
No, only 50%, almost half.
Half will survive.
Yes, half is enough. Okay. So after vitrification, and after giving ICSI, about 50% of fertilized oocyte develop to the blastocyst like this. So there's evidence The cryopreservation, vitrification is a technology for the clinical use, so it should be reliable and universal. So we have many evidence. So, for example, blastocysts, Asada ladies clinic in Japan, they report 99%, and Katoris, our clinic, and Yume clinic, our group, 99%, and more, hundreds of centers in many countries, they have produced, they report in the scientific society, more than 99% of survival. And the blastocysts biopsy run at 98% survival reported by Dr. Schranker. Schranker is a main embryologist of Colorado Center of Fertility. And this center is very famous for the cryo loop center. So Michelle Ray and now they moved to Australia. And David Gardner was the director here. They have used cryo loop. However, cryo loop doesn't work for the human oocyte. So they start to use. Gardner come to my laboratory. I teach them, and I train Schranker. They start to use cryotop method for human oocyte first, and then now biopsy the blastocysts. And they obtained very good survival rate. And the biopsy blastocysts, and they reported 70% pregnancy after transfer of blastocysts because they transferred 2 blastocysts. Okay, so more than 60% of the pregnancy is twins. So I always ask them, only one, transfer only one. Okay, so only one, we could obtain more than 45 or 50% of pregnancy after single transfer. And blastocysts and 4 cells. And this is not cryotop, this cryotech method from last year. So I supervise this IMI clinic, Institute of Mexico Infertility. This is the largest center in Mexico. So I'm a supervisor of this center. So we start to use this technology in here. And still, they have already more experience of 400 cases for human blastocysts and oocyte, resulted in still 100% survival here. And for oocytes and aesthetic, so after obtaining the first baby in Japan in 2000, I visit United States, Milwaukee, AIOF Center, AIOF. And I train, aesthetic is an embryologist there, so I train her for 2 days. And we vitrified the oocytes, and we obtained the first baby in United States to 2003. And also, I will visit IBI. It is Institute of Valencia Infertility. This is the largest unit in Europe. They are having now 19 IVF centers in whole Europe and doing more than 20,000 cycles in total per year. So I visited there 2005, and I trained Anna Kober. She's a cryobiologist in this center. And I trained her for 3 days, and they obtained the first baby in Europe in 2006, and reported in fertility 2007. And antinolin in Italy, 99%, in Roma, and APAT conference, APAT workshop course, 99%. And many others reported 99% for oocyte, human oocyte. And since last year, also IMI Center in Mexico, they have produced 100% for oocyte survival using the cryotech method. This is the evidence. Okay. And this is Sophie, the first baby in the United States, obtained. It is May in 2003. And this center, we established egg bank in USA in 2002, okay, in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin.